On today's episode of The Young and the Restless, what's poppin'?
Girl, did you watch Y&R today? I actually managed to stay awake.
What? Do you mean to tell me that something interesting actually happened in Genoa City today?
Yas! Amanda and Devon had sex, and Elena called Nate by Devon's name. She messed up, girl. Oh, and that's not all. Kyle told Summer about his affair with the wife of that Ashland Locke guy.
Ooh, messy!
So, you gonna do the recap or not?
I got you, girl. It's handled. Well, looks like I have a recap to do. Hey Soapmates, it's Monday, February 15th, 2021, and we are back! Sing it with me, choir. Praise the Lord! Hallelujah. It is time for another Young and Restless episode recap. I'm your host, Keisha Chantal, here to give you the good, the bad, and thankfully, the very little boring. Are you ready?
What are you cooking?
Not me. Us. We will be making dinner together.
Oh, really? So I get to see your skills.
Oh, little mama is going to be showing you some skills, all right. We've been waiting for a long time for the slow simmer between these two to reach boiling point, and I have to say, I know that we are very excited for this meal. Let me set the table for y'all. It's the second time now since Amanda has decided to forfeit dinner at a fancy restaurant, choosing instead to keep it cash at Devon's. What was once a sad apartment in the sky is now a cozy jazz den since Elena's butt skidded to the curb. I know that was shade, but I'm not sorry. On tonight's menu, heavy flirting drizzled with savory compliments, served over stories from the past with a side of mutual admiration. And for dessert, some long overdue sexy time. Bon appetit.
One time when I was here, I scoped out your kitchen. I saw that you had all of the latest gadgets and the top brands. I wasn't surprised, really.
Why? Because rich people usually have nice things?
Yes, but they don't always know how to use them. And I kept thinking, wow, maybe he is the real deal.
Mm-hmm. The real deal is right, girlfriend. There's something to be said about a soft-spoken, confident man. Whether he's chopping it up in the kitchen or the bedroom, those muscular arms scream willing and able. Yummy! Amanda then shares this really sweet story with Devon about the dish that she's making. Apparently, the recipe was given to her by one of her foster moms who she really bonded with. But it didn't work out. And so every time that she's made the dish since, it's been, bittersweet memories for her. But maybe now, she says, the tides are turning. And she gives Devon this sly look that's got your boy blushing, y'all.
Okay, now it's your turn.
My turn for what?
Well, I told you something about my past, so now I want to hear about your life.
You sure about that? There's a lot of good and bad in my past.
And here's the bad from the not-so-distant past. But I'm sure that if it ever comes out that Devon was having post-breakup sex with Elena, he's going to tell Amanda that it shouldn't count because, they hadn't begun sleeping together yet. Don't forget, Amanda can read people like a book. She'll figure it out eventually. Anyway, Devon decides to throw Amanda a bone by going a little deeper into the story of his hearing loss. So, he says, hey, that was a difficult time for me, and made even more so because I was kind of an asshole then. Huge chip on my shoulder, had some anger issues, but, I've done so much growing and evolving that I'm no longer that guy anymore. And Amanda's like, well, except for the time that I first came to town and you hated my guts and thought I was conning you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And Devon says, oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that, I was that person, I really apologize again. And Amanda's like, well, except for the other time that you punched Devon into next week and ended his career as a surgeon. And then there's this really awkward silence. Are you done? Are you done, sis, making things awkward? Because if you are, Devon would like to make sweet love to you.
What are you waiting for?
Genoa City. Huh, never heard of it. So, what do you say? Should we get this vacation started?
Well, we started off on a happy note, but things take a terrible turn when Nate, anxious to impress, delivers some panty-dropping lines, standing in nothing but a towel and droplets of water glistening off his chest. Ooh.
When I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about you. When I close my eyes at night, you're still in my mind. And in between, if there's something that I think of that will make you happy, I'll do it.
You've made my heart so full, Devon.
Oh my God. Shooketh. Ooh. You see what happens when you're on the rebound and you don't give your heart and soul enough time to process where you're at and what you're feeling? See, now you're out here calling your new man by your ex-man's name. Messy. Naturally, Elena is mortified by this slip of the tongue. And even though Nate tries to brush this off and say, it happens, no big deal, he later admits that it is kind of a big deal. And he wouldn't be human if he didn't admit that sometimes he does wonder if a part of Elena wishes that she could go back to Devon. Elena then tries to reassure him that, oh no, she's 100% all in.
And I don't even think of him that way anymore. My heart and my mind is right here in this room.
That's not what you said last week. But that's none of my business. Instead, what I will say is this. Again, too soon. Take that however you want to. Remember the time when Summer thought that she had the upper hand with Sally? She came back into town with a smug sense of satisfaction. Wow, we were just kids then. Well, it's time to grow up. So let's eavesdrop on Kyle telling Summer about the time that he was shagging a married woman in the Hamptons. Scandalous.
Her name was Tara. We never thought it would go past that first night together because she was married.
Okay.
But it did. Then we started seeing a lot of each other, and things got more intense.
Did you fall in love with her?
Yeah, I thought I did.
And what?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Does anyone know why Kyle felt the need to apologize for developing feelings for someone else when he was not in a relationship with Summer? I don't know if he remembers this, but a few years ago, he used Summer for a piece of her liver and then married someone else like it was nothing. So, this should be a cakewalk compared to that betrayal. After this revelation sinks in, Summer can't for the life of her piece together why a 4-year-old affair would make Sally think that she has more leverage over her newly minted enemies. Summer tells Kyle, I don't see what the problem is. All you have to do is just come forward with the truth and basically knock the wind out of Sally's sails. And then Kyle decides to drop the other bomb. No, not the rugrat grenade, but the identity of Tara's husband.
Her husband. They don't call him Ashlyn, the Loch Ness Monster, for nothing. Even his wife is terrified of him. He's dangerous, and he doesn't do anything halfway.
Okay, so what do we do?
we do nothing.
Well, that's that on that. Poor Summer. She doesn't want to accept it. Instead, she's more caught up on the fact that she lost half the cards instead of the pale-faced, wild-eyed terror written all over Kyle's face.
When we went on our fact-finding mission in LA, you warned me. You said that Sally might lash out, and now she has, in your direction. So she can't go after my job, so instead she attacks the man that I love, and honestly, I could rip her to shreds, Kyle.
I don't deserve that much support.
Sure don't. Does anyone here want to tell me why Kyle didn't go ahead and just tell her that he could possibly be someone's baby daddy? I mean, this means effectively that he is leaving it to Sally to just drop it in Summer's lap. Bad idea. The art of war strictly stipulates that the best way to conquer your enemies is to divide them. Let Summer think that Kyle is holding out on her. We already know she's paranoid as hell. This will be the first crack in their already shaky foundation. Anyway, Tara, when you booking the next flight out to Genoa City, girl, we need to meet. And make sure you bring little Harrison. I want to see those dimples.
I adore my career and I'm not going anywhere.
So I can't help wondering, now that you have the job, now that your career is going the way you want it to, what's next for Sally Spectra?
Well, well, well. Look who shimmied up to the bar at Society looking like a loaded sex pot. I have to say, at first, I dreaded the idea of a potential relationship between Aunt Jack and Sally, but that was before I remembered that scrappy social climbers who marry into wealth always make for delicious drama. Eagerly awaiting the day, Sally becomes queen of the Abbott Manor and Kyle's new stepmommy dearest.
You astonish me, Sally.
Well, I would love to know how.
Well, for starters, you could teach a course on how to keep a positive outlook. That transition from high to low would crush most people with less grit and determination.
Auntie hasn't put 2 and 2 together yet, but Sally is basically a younger, more talented version of Gloria Bardwell. Remember the time he told Gloria that she was a back alley grifter? You can check that out here. I think that karma is ready to crown a new bitch. Okay? We stand a queen who can walk out of a room and leave a man looking like this. Last time we saw Summer's parents, they were watching Kyle whisk Summer away from the Grand Phoenix lobby with very confused and suspicious expressions. After their departure, Phyllis decides to fill Nick in on Sally, the latest threat to their baby girl's happiness.
That Sally girl is thirsty.
Easy fix. Let's get her a beverage.
No, you know what I mean. She desires attention and approval. It's like she's obsessed with it. She goes after what's not hers, and she'll do anything to get it.
Thank you for the very in-depth character analysis, Phyllis. I'm sure the irony isn't lost on anyone here that old girl seems to be describing herself in 1994. A thirsty groupie who follows Danny Romalotti, or maybe the better word here is to say stalked Danny Romalotti and followed him into Genoa City to sink her fans into his life and take what wasn't hers, i.e. Christine's husband, and then do everything that she needed to get it, i.e. change DNA results to con Danny into thinking that he had fathered her child. Takes one to know one, I guess. Eventually, Sally walks into the lobby, and this seems to send Phyllis's petty levels into overdrive.
How do you like being Lauren's assistant? Are you getting confused by the coffee orders?
Oh, haven't you heard? I got a big promotion.
Wow. I bet you're screaming that from the rooftop. Have you told Kyle?
You know, I talk to Kyle all the time. Seem to bump into each other every day.
All right. That's painful.
You know, it's been such a whirlwind.
I love Nick's expression during this entire exchange. He can't for the life of him figure out why Phyllis is being such a bitch. But, like most men, in the presence of a beautiful, captivating woman, he can't see beyond the surface because, biology won't let him. So, it's up to Phyllis to drill down into the root of who Sally Spectra really is. And let me tell you, if there is anyone who can shake the truth out of Sally's tree, it's going to be Phyllis. Now, I don't know where this is going, but I'm telling you right now, I bought my ticket and I'm ready to ride.